Welcome to Electrified. It's your host, Dylan Loomis. So first up, just an error from yesterday. I did share Gene's tweet where he was talking about Ford having 61.5 thousand EV deliveries last year. It looks like that number is actually closer to 95,000. Now, I did go ahead and fact check this quickly yesterday, but I used an Inside EVs article, and maybe that's where Gene actually got his data, who knows. But either way, just know the actual number is higher, so that means the EBIT loss per delivery is actually closer to around 20,000 rather than 34,000. So apologies on that one, should have fact checked directly from Ford's materials. However, I would note that 95,000 number does include joint ventures, so just keep that in mind. One of our community members, DeBooster, shared on Twitter that one of his friends was set to order a Mach-E, but they ended up with a Model Y. They went to the Ford dealership and it didn't go well with the dealer markup, so they left and ended up with a Tesla, another hurdle that Ford needs to figure out in the years ahead. We have Hiro Mizuno, a Tesla board member, chiming in on his disappointment on one of those articles we shared toward the end of yesterday's video. They, talking about Toyota Honda, continuously surprise and disappoint me with critical underestimation of the pace of technology shift, talking about two EVs. I really wish, as a Japanese car makers would wake up and remain significant in the global car market after 2030. Which, yes, subtly implies if they don't alter their course, then they will not be remaining significant past the next decade. Forward Cap put together some really nice data just to give us a simple comparison of some numbers for Ford's new breakout of its Model E division. This has been covered a lot, so we won't stay here long. Go ahead and take a screenshot if you want to save this. But he broke out Tesla's figures back when they were selling similar amounts of EVs each year to see where Tesla was at in terms of its EBIT at that same time in the production ramp. If you look at 2016, when Tesla sold 76,000 EVs, it doesn't seem that long ago, Tesla was at negative 16% when it comes to EBIT margin, compared to Ford at negative 40% with selling roughly 20,000 more EVs last year. In case you use the website Supercharge.info, they rolled out a new update with some cool new features. You can see at the top, now you can sort by the minimum power at different superchargers. You can select a minimum stall amount to filter. You can choose the current status of different superchargers, so I will include this link below if you want to check it out. A new survey from UBS polled over 10,000 people, so not insignificant. 46% are likely to consider a battery electric vehicle for their next car purchase. However, this is 3% lower than in 2022, and they're citing this could be driven by the European market's concerns on affordability. When it comes to Tesla, though, they're not really being affected. 42% of potential BEV buyers still considering a Tesla, up 1% from last year. In China, Tesla lost its top rank for the first time to BYD, but now these two brands lead all others by a wide margin. Really no surprise. To date, most people in the field have been using Tesla's safety score beta version 1.2. Now we get version 2.0, and here's what's changed. Excessive speeding is a new safety factor. The limit, over 85 miles per hour. More time spent there, lower safety score. New unbuckled driving, if you're driving over 10 miles per hour, that will now lower your safety score. Late night driving will now be risk weighted depending on what time you're driving between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m., the proportion of time spent driving in each hour between those hours. So the earlier in the night, the closer to 10 p.m. you are, the lower the impact on your safety score. The later into the night, the more the impact. One feature I know many people will love, hard braking events because of a yellow light will now be excluded from impacting your safety score. And yes, this will further separate Tesla from some of the other competition when it comes to monitoring safe driving. We've known that LG has been planning a battery cell factory in Arizona, but now they're coming out and saying that the capacity is set to be double what they initially announced. Now the number is 27 gigawatt hours. LG is set to spend $5.5 billion for part of this factory to make LFP pouch cells for use in stationary energy storage, and then another $3 billion for cylindrical cell production. This would make it the largest single investment ever for a standalone battery factory in North America. So honestly, guys, the IRA has been having a huge impact, and it's really cool to see. Mass production for this new facility of 2170s is set to begin in 2025. The LFP cell production is expected 1 year later. We haven't heard much about it since the summer of last year, but we know that LG is working on 4680s that could potentially be for Tesla. They were starting to do this at a factory in South Korea. So once they figure out the process and how to do it, I will not be surprised if we see some level of 4680 production from LG from this new factory. But again, it could be years down the road, and that's definitely not a guarantee. I just won't be surprised. You may recall about 2 years ago, LG was supplying Tesla with 2170 cells using NCM 811, and then Tesla was set to be one of the first automakers to use LG's new chemistry cells with a nickel, cobalt, manganese, aluminum cathode materials. And the first car that was set to get those new chemistry cells was going to be the Made in China Model Y. So I'll be curious to learn who will be the companies being supplied by this new factory in Arizona. I'm sure some of you have seen by now there are videos slowly coming out of the new Tesla Vision park assist feature that's supposed to be mimicking what the ultrasonic sensors used to do before they were removed from some Tesla vehicles. I just want to make something clear right now. One, this is a brand new feature, so expect it to not be perfect. It's going to get better with time, just like all Tesla features. And two, don't feel the need to have your mind made up within the first 60 seconds of watching these, whether this is good or bad. It's going to be different in different scenarios, whether it's light or dark, garage, parking lots, different angles, lighting, sun, all of those things will impact the performance as this new feature is rolled out. This is just one anecdote, but this driver put his car in park after using the park assist feature, then waited a second, turned his car back on, and this is what he saw.
So this is interesting. We actually see a park assist is loading. So it may be trying to memorize where it is, okay, but it did. And it's showing 19 inches. So let's see if we can inch a bit closer. So there it is, rolling forward. So I'm up there now. It's showing 12 inches. Pretty accurate as well. So this is 12 inches straight from the bumper of this car. Closer to 11 inches, but still very accurate.
And here's another example of the Tesla Vision Park Assist detecting curbs on the side of the vehicle.
It is giving me that outline here on the side, which the ultrasonic sensors do not do. And as you can see, it's using the side cameras to do this calculation. So let's see if we can get in closer and if it'll give us any distance indication. Oh, look at that. That's pretty awesome.
So no distance measurement, but helpful. So honestly, one of the biggest questions for me will be, at what point does Tesla disable the cars with ultrasonic sensors to implement this Tesla Vision Park Assist feature? Will they do it at all? Will they try to blend the two? On that one, I would be surprised. I don't think that will be the long-term plan. I do think at some point the long-term plan is using this Tesla Vision for all Tesla vehicles. The question now is, how long will it take, and will they actually disable cars with USS? We'll see. If you don't have it yet, it looks like so far it's with the new software update 2023.6.9 in the United States and Canada, starting with the FSD beta release for Model 3 and Ys, but honestly this is changing almost hourly, so just remember that. I'll be honest though, I really wish Tesla would just do the bird's eye 360 view that other companies have been doing now for years. Of all companies to do this, you would think Tesla should be able to do it the best and the easiest, but for whatever reason, they're not. If you'd like to check out some more Tesla Vision Park Assist videos, I will put this link below where Miriac67 uploaded a bunch. This is clearly a rumor, and we've had plenty on this topic in the past 6 months, but Chris Zhang saying he's heard Elon will be coming to China soon for Tesla to discuss the third phase of Giga Shanghai, but no final decision has been made. I'm not even going to speculate on what this expansion could be. We'll find out soon enough. Ford and Jim Farley this morning gave a presentation talking about their Blue Oval City mega campus that they're developing down in Tennessee. that will be the home where they build the future T3, Ford's next generation pickup truck. We did not get to see what the truck will look like, but it's being called Project T3, kind of a play on the Model T, and during the presentation, Farley was saying something about trust the truck, that it's going to be different, and there will be some features that we've never seen before, but it will still function like a truck. Whenever this facility comes online sometime around 2025, the initial capacity is said to be around 500,000 pickup trucks per year, and it should be noted this T3 will not be another F-150 Lightning. Farley reiterated multiple times it will be very software forward and it will focus on aerodynamic talent. It'll be a platform for endless innovation and capability. This campus will have a battery plant and a supplier park, at least one of which will be SK Innovation providing batteries. This is set to be 50 miles northeast of Memphis in Tennessee, and Ford is taking a page out of Tesla's book with the Blue Oval Learning for future employees, basically giving education. Farley said the manufacturing process will include radical simplicity, cost efficiency, quality technology, leading people from all over the world wanting a factory tour. Does this sound familiar? And yes, this was the presentation I was watching earlier today when I composed this tweet. Here's Jim with some more on the T3.
It launches in about 30 months, so just over 2 years. We haven't shown anyone the truck yet because we don't want to give an advantage to our competition. But it is a built for tough, real work vehicle, but it'll have technology no one's ever seen in any of these electric trucks. We're the best-selling electric truck now with the Lightning. This will be a lot better. It'll be fully software updatable, so every part we can ship software to the car over the air. Your trucks are going to get better every time you get in it and move every morning. In fact, we think we're going to be able to land a semi-autonomous system, so you'll be able to go to your sleep in your truck while you're traveling on the highway. And it would be, I think, maybe one of the first vehicles you could do that safely in the U.S.
Now, we talked to your CFO, John Lawler.
Yes. And
he broke down the longer-term operating margin for that EV business at 8%. Now, I got a question. Well, Tesla's at double digits. Why is that the case?
Well, Tesla hasn't had any competition until Ford and others came along. Now their prices are down like $7,000 in 1 year. So there's going to be more price competition, in that market. And we're counting on that. When we say 8%, it won't be at the prices we see today. And what we have to do is we have to design the truck differently. We have to scale with a plant like Blue Oval City here in Tennessee. We're going to have a more efficient distribution with no inventory, online, configuration. You can buy the vehicle and configure it online. And then we need to have a different manufacturing process with less labor content in the vehicle. When we do all those things, we'll make an 8% margin. If it was today, we'd make more than 8% because there's not as much pricing competition as I know there will be.
In case you missed it, this is one of the only times we are rooting for a Tesla to be hacked. Recently, Tesla held another event at the Pwn to Own event where hackers tried to hack a Tesla. In this case, some folks did do that successfully, so they actually qualified to win $100,000 and a Model 3. Yes, there's a picture of a Model S, but some reporting was saying they just used that picture because the 3 was not available, but they did confirm they won a Model 3 for what they did. Great data for Tesla and a way for them to continually build out a more and more robust and hacker-resilient software system. I'll just say we know data is the new gold, and with these more digitally connected cars going forward, I'm going to need to see some of these legacy OEMs spending some money to make sure their security systems are on point, maybe rather than spending that money on marketing. I mean, we've already seen huge companies like VW struggle with Cariad to deliver any type of software-enabled system, so how safe and resistant is it really going to be? It really hasn't been a big problem yet, but once 50% of the fleet is electric vehicles, it's something to be aware of. You can find me on Twitter at DylanLoomis22. Go enjoy your weekend, be safe, please like the video if you did, and a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters.